What up, everybody, and welcome to the Scotty and Stowe Show. I am Scotty,
What's up? I'm Stowe.
and we are sponsored by the Good Time Tavern of Livermore, California. How is Stowe?
More importantly, us in the chat want to know how you're doing. Coming off the surgery and getting your six pack abs like mechanically put in and stuff.
You mean sewed back together or glued back together, whatever the fuck they did to these things? I'm
Sure, yeah.
starting to, I can actually feel either a stitch or a clump of glue or whatever goes down the center of my belly.
That weird meshing they threw in there, I bet.
The weird meshing they threw into my belly button. I don't know if I feel any of the I think I do feel some of the belly button stuff someday, sometimes. But the six pack thing, as
Not yet.
unexpected as it was, it sucks, man. I can't breathe. I can't well, I can breathe now, but clearing my throat was horrible. Coughing was the end of the world. And I'm happy it's getting better.
You know what? I'm excited to have a non-Penguin compatriot to do the show with. I'll be honest, he didn't contribute much last week. Obviously, we're excited. We got a lot to talk about the show. I mean, I'm going to ignore quarterlies for a while. We're going to talk some NFL, some MLB, um,
Like
and we'll talk a little Giants Dodgers. But I think we have to start with the NBA, which is just a like attention greedy child that just won't let us move on, and they keep doing things that we must talk about.
Well, I realized one thing this week during my recovery from surgery that the NBA draft is really bad. Like when you can't move and all you can do is watch it, and you have to watch every glaring minute of it, it's pretty horrible. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody got drafted, but they got drafted for another team by another team. Just it was just and then trades to like be finalized when the regular season starts, and
Oh yeah, very confusing. No one
making
knows
them
who.
wear the hat of the team that drafted them when it wasn't actually the team that drafted them. When they had all those hats back there, didn't really make any fucking sense either, since it was the other team that drafted you. You just took them. I don't know. I
Yes,
thought it
yes.
was interesting that the David Stern guy used to get booed and the bald guy used to get cheered, and now the bald guy gets booed just as bad as anybody else.
Of course.
So it just
Yep.
takes a little bit of time before you are the evil person in the whole deal. He looks more evil than he used to look. I don't know. And
It's the dark side, man. Being a commissioner
it
gets to you.
must be there must be something there in the NBA that honestly in the end is not
We could
right.
do it. We could do a parody of Star Wars. So we'll make him, Darth Vader and stuff, and the NBA Players Association with their group of players could be like, you know, the ruggish thuggish renegades.
Rebellion. And then let's bring back David Stern can be the Sith Lord, and nobody ever sees him. He's just in the background somewhere.
Yeah, right. Or that big dude that doesn't know who knows what that guy's from. Snort or Snoot or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, Snork. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was only in the cartoons, though. Did he make it into the movies?
He did. He was like 100 feet tall.
Okay. Because he was in the Clone Wars, like where Anakin got caught in this little weird thing. There was his two children fighting against each other. And oh, I remember that. He did make it in there. What's her name and what's her his face? Killed them with the sword thing, chopped him down.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
Brilliant.
yeah, we can definitely do that with the NBA because I kind of think that it's either that or the mob actually does run the NBA because it just seemed weird.
And I guess we'll have to make Luke Skywalker SGA since he's getting paid $71 million per year coming up here in a little bit.
Almost $1 million a game. That's like Brett Favre when he played his last year of football. It was like he made like $1 million a game. Of
That's
course,
insane.
now that's nothing. Don't they
It's
all make?
nothing, but it's something.
I mean, I guess for basketball, it's crazy because $71 million. Nobody makes that. I mean, the new quarterbacks are making 55 million a year. So they make like
3 mil a
almost
game
3 mil a game. Yeah, three some mil a game. So
minimum.
minimum. So yeah, so I mean, if you think about it in game terminology, even Michael Jordan now is, we used to go, oh my gosh, Jordan's making $1 million a dribble. But he wasn't. But I mean, now it's like he wasn't making shit.
All right. And so I'll move on a little bit. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Damian Lillard being released by the Bucks, and
Yeah.
they signed Miles Turner because of that. So the Bucks are making a play for what I have no idea. Even with their starting lineup, they have Gary Trent Jr. and some other not so great players in there. I don't know what Milwaukee's doing. They're trying to get Giannis to stay forever, but I don't know
Well,
if
I
it's
believe they're trying to make Giannis happy, and I believe Giannis it also was involved in, saying, "Hey, Miles, look over here." I don't think Giannis was aware of what it was going to take to get Miles over there because they're already over this whatever. They pay the penalty every year, don't they? They like aren't they the worst team in basketball for having to fucking pay out and like you're over, dude? I think they are. They're like at the end of they've paid too much money for their championship. You know what I mean? And
Milwaukee.
him, I think so. I think as it goes
That
in
would be
basketball,
surprising if they did.
I think in basketball, I think the Bucks are in like the worst financial shape for what they pay out every year or have been paying out.
They're still paying Jack Sigma somehow, something like that.
Yeah, it's like Bobby Bonilla Day.
Hey, happy Bobby
Hey,
Bonilla
happy Bobby
Day!
Bonilla Day. Hey.
Everyone should get $1.19 million.
Yeah, right. Every fucking July 1st. It's insane. So
Amazing.
no, I think the Bucks are listening to Giannis or trying to make him too happy. And he's not a fucking GM or he's not the guy that makes these decisions. But if you try to make some, that's like, listen, the Packers tried to make Aaron Rodgers happy for all those years, and those years of trying to make Aaron Rodgers happy was miserable. So if
Same
you're
with Warriors and Curry. I mean, we've been trying to keep this Curry thing alive for how many years now? And the last three have been not so great.
yeah, so I heard the only way they could get Turner was they needed a bunch of money, right? So they just let Damian Lillard go, and it's easy to let him go and then pay him out in time. They get that money back. So that's how they got Miles Turner, and now Giannis is angry that they let Damian Lillard go. Buddy, what do you want?
Sure. Well, my question is with next year's draft being possibly 6, 7 deep as far as like potential franchise changers, and so many teams taking like the years off, like the Celtics are waiting for Tatum to get back, et cetera, et cetera. There's a couple more examples of that.
Celtics are a great example of that. Keep going.
Right. So, I mean, how many teams are actually just going to go for it, like think they have a chance because some of these other teams, especially in the East, I mean, the West is going to be stacked as usual. Impossible to come out of the West.
In
But
the
yeah,
East, I would assume the Heat have to make a try for it. I would assume that the Knicks better damn well. The
they have to with
70s,
Brunson. Yeah.
the 76ers, they have to look at this as an opportunity with Embiid if he comes back healthy to make a run with Maxi. I mean, I think the 76ers have to be in that category because if Embiid comes back healthy, they're supposed to be top 3 team anyways. If you take the top 2 teams away from this, as you're going to, Cleveland has to somehow think that this is an opportunity to make a run for it. Um, After that, I think the talent pool is just pretty bad. Orlando has to think that this is an opportunity for them to jump into the mix, even though I think
Absolutely.
Orlando has more years.
Well, I mean, they got my boys. They got Banchero and the Wagner brothers. Wagner.
Did they? Oh, they did bring back the other Wagner, didn't they?
Yes, Moritz and Franz.
Right.
So yeah, they still got those guys, and they got Desmond Bain from Memphis shipped off for a couple of their Cole Anthony, one of my Carolina boys, but And
Right.
of course, he's a one and done, so you never really get to feel their UNC stuff once they're here for 1 year. I miss Antoine Jameson and Carter. Anyway, yeah, real quick to end the NBA. I mean, Warriors didn't do much. They lost Kevon Looney, so a little moment of
Saw that.
silence for Kevon Looney, the oldest 29-year-old in the history of basketball.
I think the
Uh,
biggest, the ones that really lost the most this year, I mean, and during this whole thing, I think the Pistons with the gambling allegations and Schroeder going away. And I thought you guys would have made more of an opportunity to try to advance, and you just lost players. I mean, the gambling allegation, if that goes south for you, that's just
uh,
bad. That's just bad, right?
I was gonna ask you to like kind of lead me in like that because I've been reading all this stuff on the internet, and I don't know if anyone remembers, but we have this 23-year-old who averaged 18.6 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. His name's Jaden Ivey. He's coming back. We just signed
I
Duncan
like Ivy.
Robinson. We just signed Duncan Robinson to fill the 3 point void, and Karis LeVert is a good locker room guy. So I don't think we lost. I think our offseason, sure, on paper didn't do so much, but we get a healthy Ivy back. We get Karis LeVert, who's a good wing guy, and we got a 3 point shooter, Duncan Robinson, who's been one of the best in the league for the last 8 years. So
Yeah.
tell me that we've not gotten better.
Well, you gotten younger again if you lose both of these guys.
Sure, we just lost Hardaway Jr. too, so don't.
Damn.
maybe maybe it's almost a wash, but getting Ivy back is what I'm excited for, and the development of all our second and third year wings.
Okay, so now my question to you then, with that Pistons thing, do you feel the Knicks got any better with picking up Jordan Clarkson? What's his name?
Well, you added Clarkson and Bouchelli.
Yeah, Bouchali. No,
Uh,
we added somebody else too. Another
and
another center.
which is
Yarbelly, some shit like that. I don't know.
oh no, that's Yarbul Basheli. That's he's a taller wing player. Both
Okay.
will add depth because obviously your new coach will want to play 8 or 9 players instead of six like the
Six.
last
Yeah, I'm
one.
hoping. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, so all these are pickups out of necessity. And we
I
will
thought they were
see.
decent pickups though for what we
Yeah,
needed.
I like Buselli. I think he's quality. He's not bad. Jordan Clarkson, getting old, but if he can pull like a well, I can't remember his name. Crossover King from Seattle. Crawford. If he could be like Crawford, 6 man, come off the bench, just be 36-year-old and score buckets for 5 minutes and then go sit down.
Yeah, right.
Could be good pickups for the
Well,
Knicks.
we're
I
looking to
don't
do that. We're looking to add one more in that category because Russell Westbrook and the Knicks both have interest in each other, and he comes in at veteran minimum, blah,
why
blah,
not
blah.
go get
Apparently, we
LeBron?
have one of those spots.
Why
Huh?
not go get LeBron?
Yeah, that's, I guess, listen, it was, I already heard this trade, and I was like, well, I don't know if I like that trade at all. Fuck that guy. He didn't want to come here 10 years ago. I don't want that guy now. But
Exactly.
I heard Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson for the King. And I was like,
For 1 year of the King.
for 1 year of the King, you got to get two, man. I'll be pissed off. I want 41 gray old ass beard, LeBron James, and a Nick jersey. At least I'll get a Nick jersey eventually. Look, it took 5 different jerseys, but I got one.
All right. Sorry guys. We haven't talked for like a week. At least not on Demerol. So we've been going on a little
I'm
bit. We'll
not
move
on
on.
Demerol, you dickhead.
We'll move on.
I'm on Robloxin now. All I'm on is an anti-inflammatory. Used all my good drugs up.
All right. Well, let's move on to NASCAR, which finally had an exciting week.
Well, that a
And
big
it was in
wreck that
Atlanta.
gave somebody else a chance to win.
Oh, yes. See, that's what we should have every week in NASCAR. One wreck that wipes out half the fucking field.
And then
It
my
gives us
guy
other
wins the
half
second stage and sucks everybody's in the third
We're not
stage.
sponsored by kids this week. We could say it.
Fucking son of a. Yeah, I heard you can't get monetized though if you swear though. So maybe we should start practicing on not swearing. That
All
can't be
right.
true though, because Pat McAfee swears all the time. Fuck him. I'm just saying, listen, win the second stage after everybody that's already won a race is completely fucking eliminated. And then you can't even hold your ground in the third stage. Reddick is starting to bum me out. Now I know he got fourth place here, but now we're starting to get close to everybody's got to win. I mean, they're going to have to extend this to 20 wins because everybody gets a win except for my guy and your guy. I mean, I don't understand. How many wins are there? 12 now? 10 now? I don't know. We're getting fucking pretty goddamn close. I got to be
I think
close to bubbling.
I believe we have what, like 6 or 7 races left before
Yeah, there's like 6 races left.
yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, both our guys raced great. It was great racing, 3 wide, making exciting. There was a couple wrecks, like 6 or 7 wrecks. Actually made a
Excellent
difference.
race.
Fun. It was fun.
Great racetrack. You can balls to the walls. Just go, go, go. And, if you stay out of the big wrecks, you got a chance to win it.
All right.
But I was in like, at one point in time, I was like, where am I? 22nd, 1.74 seconds behind. God, I got to be right there. Where am I?
Well, that's not bad. Yeah. Well, next week we got Chicago, the road race.
Road course. I like the
Third
Chicago
ever.
race. It's going to be a good race.
You've had like a really good time and then a really bad time.
Yeah,
in
man.
your,
I don't know if anybody, the Mexico race, if we've never been there, the guy who runs only road courses, Shane Van Gil, whatever the fuck his name is.
He's won this race before too, yes.
Yeah, probably, man. The guy's a great road course racer. He came from road coursing. He didn't come
Well, check it
from
out.
circle track.
He won the first one, and then the second one, Bowman passed you because you hit like something on the last lap. So you were in it last year.
Well,
You
I'm
finished
ready.
second. I finished 10th. So I was better than 20th, but not much better.
No, not much better.
Yeah, I'm not winning next week. So maybe I'll try to help you out by wrecking some other people.
Yeah, do that.
Do that.
I'm excited for it. I mean, still a good finish for Reddick at fourth. Congratulations to Casey Elliott for breaking the losing streak he's apparently been on. I never really think of any Hendricks drivers as being on any kind of losing thing. So, but hometown kid, so it's cool to win at your own track in Atlanta. That's
Always
awesome.
fun. Yeah.
Always fun. A lot of the people stay when you do that because they've, of course, true NASCAR fanatical fans that stay anyways. If they're from the area, they've watched the kids in that area grow up racing. I'm assuming that all those people, if they were the older folks, had seen Casey Elliott race at the smaller tracks and come through as a kid if they were from Atlanta. So cool for Casey Elliott. Not cool for me not getting the win.
Not cool for me.
Yeah. You need the less you need, the less you can't. You need more chances than me. I could get one. You need it to be in your wheelhouse.
I might actually have to start watching this stuff. Annoying.
That sucks, huh?
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
So we want to talk a little football, a little baseball first, because
Let's
my
start
Giants
with
have been, yeah.
let's start with baseball.
My Giants, last we talked, we were like, we're gonna have a race unless somehow the Dodgers start running away with it.
Dodgers been playing well.
Yeah, you won 7 the last 10, we won 3, and all of a sudden we're behind the Padres. The Diamondbacks are right behind us. Everyone's like 10 back of you now. It's gross.
Happens fast, huh? It's because they play so many games in a week. I mean, you can have like a week of like 6 games, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. One day
7
off,
if you're
one the
lucky.
middle. Yeah. So if you win all 6 of those and everybody else in your division loses all 6 of those, you got 6 game lead. Uno week. So yeah,
Yeah,
baseball is kind of intense like that and how many, but that can change.
obviously it can change.
Ah,
We've seen changes.
how are the Orioles doing?
Still in last, man.
Damn.
My fantasy guy Whisper keeps getting hurt, so he can't lead them to victory. Yeah, no, the East is getting interesting though. Yankees, Toronto, only a game back. Tampa Bay, game and a half. Getting spicy there.
Nice.
I mean, we go this one. Detroit's still way up on everybody else.
I like that so much, especially since we called Detroit as a dark horse at the beginning of the year. To see
Yeah,
Detroit all the way in the top there, it makes me smile because that was like,
cruising.
yeah, happy about that. And you know what? I was actually born in Detroit, so
Nice.
I can't ever
I,
argue the fact that they're there. I'm like, yeah, cool. I was born in that city.
oh yeah. Yeah, and the rest of the West, I mean, it looks like Houston's pitching staff is too good for the rest of the league, but Cal Raleigh's keeping Seattle in it. Phillies and Mets and all these guys suck. The Marlins have actually won 8 in a row, surpassed the
Nice.
Braves and the
Still, they're in a
Nationals.
big gap between them and the other team for winning 8 in a row.
Yeah, no, they're still like 10 behind.
Sucks.
And then all these guys have a chance in the Central, everyone except for the Pirates.
Thank God you didn't say the Cardinals because I think I voted for the Cardinals to win that division.
It's all a chance still. And then the West, we talked about the West,
We talked about the West. Those fucking Dodgers. Those fucking Dodgers.
right? Do you think Yamamoto could win a Cy Young? Or do you think a last place Paul Skeens wins it over him?
Oh, I don't. The Dodger Paul Skeens when he gets traded at the beginning of in the middle of the season.
Future Dodger Paul Skeens,
Yeah,
yes.
future Dodger Paul Skeens. I think Paul's still got a chance. Who's the kid that beat him this week? The rookie or the new who outperformed him this week? Who'd they play against this week? I can't. I just was in a pill phase haze for a while there.
It's baseball. I forget some names in baseball.
Like a young pitcher. I don't know if he was a Marlin or who he was on, but outperformed Skeens or some shit. I was like, whoa, maybe
Yeah,
the Dodgers need to
that
look at
was
that guy.
Saturday. I was working or Friday or something. Anyway, I missed that one.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think he can still win the Cy Young for the National League as a Dodger at the end of the year. By the end of the year, he'll still, when is the trading start for baseball? Got to be soon.
Yeah, it's got to be done by mid-August or maybe early August,
Okay.
end of July. I got to give it about a month, I think.
Before it
We haven't
starts or gets
even got
heavy.
the All-Star break.
All-Star break's got to be this week, right?
No.
It's always close to 4th of July-ish time, around that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah, I think well the Giants Dodgers have a series 11 to 13. So maybe it's right after that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I looked it up a couple days ago and it said 2 weeks. So I was assuming it's 2 weeks from nowish.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm excited for that to start. I'm interested to see if we make any kind of move for pitching. I think we're set anywhere else, but I think damned if we do, damned if we don't when it comes to pitching in the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm
Right?
sorry to say.
Whoever you pick up is gonna get hurt. So
Yeah, I know. It's like get excited. I like get Paul Skeens. Ah, man, can you believe Paul Skeens is out for 2 years? Yeah, I can
return
actually. Did the Dodgers pick him up? They did.
they did.
Yeah, he probably got Tommy John and a torn Achilles on the same pitch. Damn. That's fun. Whatever.
Whatever indeed.
We got Shohei Ohtani.
You do. He had a home run today, number 30, tied with Judge.
We're not winning though. Cal Raleigh's winning.
Cal Raleigh.
Cal Raleigh.
My favorite.
My favorite. All right, let's go to some football because football is fun this week. This might be my favorite week in the last couple of weeks for football.
Listen up, Pittsburgh fans.
It's time to trade TJ Watt to the Green Bay Packers and just get this miserable fucking season over with. And Aaron Rodgers will get his receiver. Another Packer receiver.
Another
Guy
Packers.
lives on Packer receivers. I don't know what this guy's problem is. He needs to move the fuck on.
He's stuck in 2021 or whatever.
Some shit. I mean, well, he's taking this one to 2022 or 2023, but he still lives in some Packer receiver haze. I don't know what his problem is. At least Devontae is in a good place now with a good quarterback where he doesn't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers bullshit anymore. But you know what? Stafford throws the ball to him, he'll be like, yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? It'll be like, it's not like fucking
Just catching a football, man.
Huh?
It's just catching a football. It's not like they're
Yeah, but
throwing
not when
curveballs
Jimmy
and sliders
Garoppolo's
out
throwing
there.
it over your head or
Well, that's obviously.
obviously. So he's going to have a good quarterback where he doesn't have to reminisce about Aaron Rodgers. So Devontae's fine. But now they're taking some young kid and they want to suck him in. Aaron Rodgers is the devil. Leave Romeo Dobbs out of this. No, what an interesting week for the Steelers and the Dolphins.
Yeah, I can't really make heads or tails of it, to be honest with you. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick's been really good for the Steelers for a long time,
Sure.
and they ship him for Jalen Ramsey, who's been very good but hurt, and I'm not sure if you'd say he's been very good since, and Jonnu Smith. Which I'll be honest, the Steelers have Fryermuth and this huge 6'8" tight end, so they kind of know when one's blocking and when one's receiving. But I think John is a nice addition. But other than that, I just don't get it.
Well,
Can you
John is a
explain it to
better
me?
tight end productively the last 5 years than neither one of those two. And I love me Muth. I
I
love
love a
Pat
little
Fryermuth.
move.
Everybody loves Pat Fryermuth. The other kid is the Washington kid that came out of the same school Bowers came out of, right?
Yeah, the huge Georgia dude,
Yeah, the huge Georgia dude, right? Dude's a beast. Probably
beast.
in
But
for blocking.
yeah, not much in the hands department.
Right. Fryermuth's good, but John Smith is a good tight end. He's had 4 or 5 decent years playing for the Dolphins
And
and
Roethlisberger would love that guy.
would have loved that guy. Yeah, because I mean, Jonnu Smith has had to deal with, having two good receivers on his team and dropping out of the production category. Still did well. Uh, a plethora of quarterbacks because what's his face is always injured. He's got Skylar Thompson thrown to him all the time. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I mean, in the end, they just traded two defensive backs that are on the same level, and then they got a tight end in the deal.
Yeah, it was weird.
Pretty productive tight end. I don't know if that's the weirdest tight end thing though, man, because I am still kind of confused why Darren Waller's name is being brought back up in football when he hated football and was going to become a professional rapper. So,
You told me about that, and I had to Google. And his first song that popped up was one of those voice synthesized love songs where he's like jogging beside a car and going, "Hey baby, hey baby." It
oh,
was terrible. It was awful. I wanted to throw my laptop through the window.
so you actually listened to a Darren Waller song?
About 30 seconds of it. I couldn't give it much more than that.
So you're saying that's why he's a Miami Dolphin because
He,
somebody said you
assuming
should,
he's broke now.
right.
If he gambled on himself, he lost.
He lost. Okay. Well, maybe good for the Dolphins then. Not too sure. I just thought it was weird that I mean, nobody could have been the Giants had to be like Damian Lillard this week when the Giants got a phone call and they said, "Hey, you want to trade Darren Waller?" Who?
Who? Whom?
Darren Waller, the tight end. I don't know if we got a Darren Waller on the team. Yeah, retired 2 years ago. Doesn't play anymore. Yeah, we'll trade him. What do you want to give him for us?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what do you want? I mean, Darren, he's not with us. He's traded. He retired. Yeah, what do you want? We'll take a 6th and a 7th. Sounds good. Yeah,
Sounds
we just got a
perfect. Nice.
6th and a 7th for Darren Waller.
That's
Who?
Brady and Purdy in the same draft for Darren Waller retirement. Nice.
Dude,
Good trade. That's a good trade.
that is a good trade, man. I'm just saying, for somebody who wasn't playing football anymore to get a phone call. I mean, think about it. Damian Lillard got cut all $113 million. And when he's healed, he gets to pick whatever fucking team he wants to play for. He's never
That,
had that ever in his whole career. He's just been either a trailblazer or he's
ooh.
been a fucking.
Can he get healthy for Steph's last year?
He'll
Run
probably
out.
be healthy before this year ends. So who picks him up?
I mean, he's just go back to Oakland and chill out. Play with the Warriors for fun.
Somebody's going to pick him up. They're
Someone's
not
got to
going to
play
have.
defense too. It's not going to work. So
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about the Knicks and stuff, but I was like, man,
maybe if Steph plays 24 minutes and Damian plays 24 minutes, we just do it like that,
might have to by that point.
right? Steph getting $69 million that year.
Playing
It's just
24
stupid.
minutes a
It's
game.
just stupid. Listen, cut your heroes while you can, franchises, or you're just
Cut
putting
your
yourself in for
heroes
some
while you
misery.
can. That's why I don't have any heroes on the Knicks. That's it. I'm gonna get my
Just
LeBron
Willis
James
Reed.
jersey.
Just Willis Reed. That's it.
That's it. Bernard King is my hero. Patrick Ewing is my hero. That's it. This is the last time I had a hero on the Knicks. Because the rest of
And
them
that didn't
either
work out at all.
broke my heart, stole my fucking soul. I went from Patrick Ewing to Antonio McDyess, that Stoudemire guy, Larry Johnson. They
Ooh,
all broke
that's a rough
my
run. That's a rough run. That's like a
rough
Cleveland
run.
Brown quarterback run.
It almost was like a Cleveland Brown quarterback run. The Knicks pick up trade. Let's make the team better. From Patrick Ewing to just just injured old garbage. No offense to Antonio McDyess, Kamari Stoudemire, Grandma. Carmelo Anthony, that was when we turned everything around for a whole couple of days.
That was fun. Fun couple of days.
Was a fun couple of days. Who was our coach back then?
Wasn't it a Van Gundy?
It was a Van Gundy for a little bit. Who was it? Wasn't Brown that ran with Carmelo Anthony? No. Who was that coach? The black coach.
It could have been Larry Brown, the white coach.
No, he was black.
He was a black guy.
I thought it was Brown. So when I heard his name in the fucking discussions, I was like,
He
wait.
might have been your assistant coach back then to some other black guy, maybe. Because he did what? Kings and Cleveland twice.
I kind of like the thought of the Pelicans assistant coach, but apparently he's not in the front running. This other guy is. I'm like, all right. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get Mr. Brown back, I'm just gonna laugh because that's just complete blunderism on your front office's part. So
Over and over again.
over and over again, ruining Jalen Brunson's life and ours.
Got a performer of the week, buddy?
I do. I get to talk about USA soccer for a little bit. What a fantastic game. Let's start off with talking about our left back who scored 2 goals and also, well, he scored and assisted, and then he gave up 2 goals.
Starting with our left.
His name is Arfston. And so I just go arf, arf, arf every time something good happens and barf, barf, barf every time something bad happens. And it's terrible and amazing at the same time. Thank God we get Anthony Robinson back eventually. But the important thing is we get to the penalty shootout against one of the greatest goalies of this current generation, Keylor Navas. And Matt Freese, our goalie, stops not one, not two, just three. He stops three. USA wins on penalties. So we advanced. Guatemala, next round. Mexico lurking in the finals. So my player of the week, Matt Freese. World Cup, future World Cup winner. Superstar was born in St. Louis. That's all I got. You got any performers of the week, Cal?
Freeze. I saw the Matt Freeze thing, man. Boo.
Fair, fair, fair.
This is good stuff. Do I have any performers of the week?
Shohei Ohtani.
I can't use that guy over and go. I'm gonna go with Tramadol, which is the pills I took for the first 5 days. And
Are they cow tranquilizers?
yeah, and the Robloxin I'm taking right now. I'd like to shout that out, performer of the week, because it did help me out every once in a while.
How about the doctor? Let's give a human a little shout out.
Yeah, Dr. Podrat, thank you for your wonderful surgery and then waking me up and then telling me you sewed my six pack together. What?
What?
It wasn't in the brochure. When we went through the brochure, that wasn't in the brochure. We went to the brochure and the brochure had deck hockey and it had go-karts and it had golf, but it didn't have fucking sewing my stomach back together. I know that. So shout out to that lady for fixing that problem I had. along with the other problem. And my daughter for cooking those meals and bringing me soup, hard boiled eggs. Good job, Sophia.
So fabulous.
So fabulous. So, yeah, awesome. That's my performers of the week, my daughter and the drugs I took.
That works for me.
Oh, and
Nice.
my doctor. Thank you, Dr. Podrat.
Fair enough.
Podrat. One of the two.
Will you be looking forward to anything this upcoming week?
The Chicago race for sure, ever after you told me that Reddit got second place last year.
Right?
Everything
He's in it
else
to win it.
sucks. I spent 7 days laying in bed. Do you know, unless you have a baseball channel, there's no fucking sports on. I will tell you, I enjoyed the road course race in the truck series. That was awesome. Apparently, this kid drives for 23 and 11 in the truck race, and he's going to drive at Chicago. Watch out for this kid, Hines. That might be a dark horse crappy win that we don't need to have happen.
Sounds like a Pittsburgh kid.
Yeah, right. And then I also did I enjoy the golf this week? I don't believe I watched it. I don't know if there was even any golf on. I'm
Well, that's fair.
excited,
We were trying to look forward anyway.
right? So I am excited for the NASCAR race this week and hopefully feeling a little. I'm going to try to go back to the post office on Saturday and see if I can put mail in little slots.
Sounds good. I had a good looking forward to. I was looking forward to Coco Gauff defending her major tennis championship title, but she got beaten the first round in straight sets by some Russian girl. So well, that's over. So now what I'm looking forward to
So take
is
that, America.
what I'm looking forward to is since there's been a lot of upsets in Wimbledon this year, something a little shady going on with the grass. So I'm looking for one of the Americans to just pull some more upsets since Coco's gone.
When you say the
Or
graphs, do you mean the Steffi Graf kids or do you just mean the
grass,
graphs?
the grass at Wimbledon.
Oh, the grass at Wimbledon. I am always looking forward to the grass at Wimbledon up until it starts. And then it's kind of lose my interest. No, I'm excited. Wimbledon's always awesome. I thought I saw a Wimbledon symbol on my TV as I was clicking to look for another Pawn Stars or fucking Storage Wars as I was laying in my bed. I thought I saw a little Wimbledon, like, oh, is that the Wimbledon symbol?
Right?
The tennis? Awesome. I'm excited for that too. I'm excited to talk sports again with you next week. I'm
Are we
gonna
going
do
to do our first MLB 3-on-3 game?
next week. We are going to do our first MLB 3-on-3 game. Yes,
And
we'll
then,
do it.
like 2 weeks after that, we'll just go straight to NFL and skip
Right
it
to
MLB.
NFL. Thank God. I'm losing my fucking mind here. I don't know how much longer I can take it. I need something to fill that
Yeah.
void.
There's no curling this summer, so I'm disappointed.
Oh, fuck. I'm Scotty.
Stoey, later.
Later.